This is John of Chicago South SEO and Website Services. Today we're going to talk about how to add a page to your WordPress website. Now, one of the questions that comes up a lot is what's the difference between pages and what's the difference between posts? Well, the biggest difference is that pages is simply what it is. Pages were meant for content that was to remain static, such as an about page or a bio page or a contact page. One of the things you will notice differently about the pages when you're adding pages is that there's no selection for a category, things like that. So why don't we go ahead and let's get started. The first thing we want to do is we want to come over to the left sidebar. We'll click on the Pages button or Pages menu, and that's going to bring us to what would be a list of pages. Now, we don't have, all we have here is a sample page, but if we want to add a new page, we simply just come up and click on Add New, and that'll bring us to our Add New page. We'll put in our title. In this case, we'll put in My New Page, and then we'll drop down to the content area and we can put some content in here. Now, I already had some content in the clipboard, so I'll just paste that in, and there's our text. What we can do now is we can add a sub-menu if we choose to do so, or a heading. We'll call it heading, and we can format that so that it is read as a heading, and we can't see it here, but when we view the page it would be larger than our text. Now, what we can also do here is that we can upload and add an image, or we can use an image or a clip from or a video from our library. So we'll just put our cursor here, we'll click on upload and insert, and what we'll do is, how about if we'll select the file from our library. We'll select let's select the koala bear. We'll click on open, and that's going to upload a file, and we'll have to do some formatting to that file. In this case, the only formatting that we'll do is that we'll left justify it, and we will make sure that when it is inserted that it will only be a certain size. In this case, it's going to be 300 by 225 pixels, and if that looks good, we'll click on Insert Post, and so there's our image, and then it's left justified, and there's our text. And let's say the phone rang and we needed to come back to this. Well, we would simply just click on Save Draft, and we could close down all of this, and we could come back and we could go into WordPress and select this and finish it, and that would just save it as draft, and we'll click Save Draft just to see how it works. And so it's been saved as draft. Now, we also have the ability to change what's called the visibility. Right now, most by default, all WordPress pages, if you publish them or add them, are considered public. Now, you can password protect them, which basically means before someone can actually open it, they'd have to type in a password, or you can mark it private, which basically would only, would hide the page. If I'm correct, we'll publish it, but we'll hide it, but no one will be able to access it. But in most cases, 99.9% of the time, you're going to not even touch this, and you're going to leave it public because you don't create a page unless you want someone to see it. Another thing you can do is when you click this publish button, the page is published immediately, but you also have the ability to edit it, and you can future date it. Let's say you didn't want this to post until 3 days from now. You would simply just change this date to 3 days. In this case, today is the 12th. You would move it to the 15th, and you would just click OK, and then you would have it. It would be future dated. You can also backdate it. It's probably not a reason to do that. I know it's been done before, but you can do it. In most cases, you will publish immediately, or if you decided that you didn't want to do anything, you'd click here and you would just delete it. The page attributes section would just give you the ability to link the page or make it a subdirectory to a parent page or the sample to another page. The template section, most cases you're going to just use the default template for pages, but if you had a custom template, this is where you might select it. And once you've made all your changes, you're satisfied that your page is the way you want it to be, you simply click on publish and your page has been published. Now if all goes well, if we view the site, we'll bring up the site, we should see that this page has been added, and there is in the menu, it's been automatically added in this case, because we are still in the default setting for WordPress. And if we click on my new page, it should take us to the page like it does. There's our page, there's our title, there's our heading, there's our image, and there is our text. And that's basically it. Now one other thing I do want to show you before we do, and that in most cases on static pages, you don't really want people to comment on your static pages and leave blog comments. Where you want them to do that is when you create a post. So what I always suggest is in the discussion section here is that you uncheck allow comments and uncheck allow trackbacks and pingbacks. And trackbacks and pingbacks is just where you paste the website address of a site you're trying to let know that you have written an article about them, or you've made some comments about something they have written, and you've done that, and you would just simply click update when you've made that change, and that will be taken care of. And so that's kind of how you add a new page using WordPress. This is John of Chicago South SEO Services. Take care and have a great day.